see the Hawks ready to get to work. It's an Eastern Conference matchup as the Toronto Raptors come into town for this one. Well, what better way to spend a Monday night than with the 2K sports team and the NBA? Welcome, everyone. With Steve Kerr and Clark Miller, this is Kevin Harlan. Here are your starting lineups brought to you by State Farm. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Josh Smith in this one?
Well, don't blink, Kevin, because Josh Smith is liable to put a dunk on that will be in the highlight reels for weeks to come. This guy is so explosive. The long arms, the left hand. You know, he's a beautiful strength of skill and explosiveness.
And you know, with the way he plays defense, Steve, he can create a lot of opportunities for his team in transition. Always a guy with excellent hands who can strip the ball away or block shots. He's looking to make plays and turn heads when he's on the court, and he does it more times than not.
Foul.
That's a quick foul to pick up here in the opening quarter.
That's his first personal foul, first team foul.
Stolen by Bargnani.
Well, that was really a gift there. A nice steal, but probably a pass.
What a huge play.
Call it hang time and bang time.
Unbelievable.
You gotta just shake your head on that one.
And the highlight reel replay brought to you by Sprite. Good stuff.
And it seems like Atlanta is one of those teams, guys, that's just good enough to be in the playoffs year after year, but not really great enough to contend for a championship. And it's a tough spot to be in the NBA. But if you don't have a superstar player, which Atlanta doesn't, it's just tough to get over the hump.
Teague dishes to Horford. Morrow. The Hawks working the ball around. Teague kicks to Smith. Over Bargnani. Nice shot by Smith.
A terrific shot by Smith.
Toronto with the ball. Well, if you're Atlanta, do you perhaps consider trying, Steve and Clark to make a move for a superstar player or get over the hump? Or how do you think it's going to play out, Clark? I'll start with you. How do you think this thing is going to go in Atlanta?
Well, Kevin, when you're trying to put the puzzle pieces together, you always have to consider making a move for an elite-level talent. But when you look at the Hawks, they've got enough good and great players that if they can keep them in Atlanta, one of those guys might blossom into that elite star and be able to take Atlanta to the next level, perhaps even to the final.
Here's Lowry after the made shot from Jeff Teague. Here's Gray. It's rebounded by Teague.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short-stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Horford's shot is good. The Raptors have gone 2 of 5 here, making 40% so far to start out the game. Here's Fields. Misses the layup.
And you look at Hawks coach Larry Drew, considered a player's coach. He spent 10 seasons as a player himself at the point guard position, played for 5 different teams, so he's been in the NBA for a long time.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Dwayne Casey.
He talked about the impact that Al Horford can have on a game and how they'll have their work cut out for them dealing with him. He said Horford's just a complete ball player. He does all the things you want from a big man. He can shoot, handle, and pass. He's always a tough matchup, but it starts with matching his energy level. Kevin, we'll see if they have what it takes.
And thank you for that, Doris. Shot's good.
Nice, aggressive defensive play to make the steal and start the break.
Yeah, and I like the fact they didn't mess around with it once they got it.
And Larry Drew, a basketball lifer, Steve mentioned. Steve, what are the challenges for him with this Atlanta team, you think?
Well, they've always been a team, at least the last 5 or 6 years, that's just good enough to get to the playoffs and maybe win a round, but not good enough to get over the hump. Now they're going through some changes with the trade of Joe Johnson. They've cleared up a lot of cap room, so I think the challenge is to keep them competitive while they retool and rebuild here the next few years.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Pachulia, he's checked in for Horford. Ivan Johnson comes in for Kyle Korver. Lou Williams is checked in for Anthony Morrow. And Devin Harris is subbed in for Jeff Teague. Clays is checked in for the Raptors. Pachulia the pass to Williams. Clock at 6. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
shooting for Atlanta.
You know, one thing I like about Lou Williams, a shooting guard's game and a point guard's body, he's surrounded by bigger guards who are more than capable of handling the ball and defending. So Lou Williams can really fit in nicely with that role.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hawks. Horford comes in for Ivan Johnson, and it's Korver in for Josh Smith. And both free throws good for Williams.
And let's go back to Lou Williams just for a minute. You know, he comes off the bench, Steve, as you know. You allow him to focus on scoring. When he comes off the bench, he's thinking about one thing, putting the ball in the basket. And you can build your second unit around his ability to score the basketball. Boy, there was no hand in his face right there. I thought for sure he was going to knock that down.
Poked away. Back to Harris. Now the pass to Korver. Feeds it to Pachulia. Out to Harris. Horford up top. Back to Harris. The feed to Korver. Gives him the lead pass. Second shot opportunity. And there's Devin Harris on the assist by Korver. Raptors trail by 3. Outside Lowry. He feeds it to DeRozan. Kicks to Clayson. Lets it go with the 3. Atlanta with the rebound. Dishes it to Harris. From deep. Got it off in time, but it's no good. Well, it's been a high-scoring competitive game through the first quarter.
14. The Raptors. 11.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. Now, what do you guys think about the Hawks here in this one?
And I thought they built this lead mainly because of their work on the glass. They really dominated the rebounding totals.
And it takes an effort from all 5 guys to get a rebounding advantage like that. Everybody has to rebound the ball. That's how you finish off your defense.
4-3.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor. All fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court for Atlanta, Teague and Lou Williams are the back. Pachulia is out there with Smith, and it's Korver in at the small forward.
You know, the Raptors were really terrible defensively in 2011, and even though they didn't quite make the overall strides they wanted to last year, they were able to get closer to where they need to be.
And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Guys, a very interesting motivational object for the Raptors. Coach Dwayne Casey had a 1,300-pound boulder placed in the Raptors dressing room. He said it's from a story about a stone cutter. Every time a stone cutter hits a rock, it may not break. You may have to hit it 100 times, but on that 101st time you hit it, now you cause the rock to crack. Now the team motto has become Pound the Rock. It's a metaphor for working hard, eventually paying off. Casey said, we've got to keep pounding. We've got to keep hitting the rock, and eventually it will crack. That's why we work together every day to get better. Kevin, pretty hard to ignore a boulder that size in your locker room.
Well, it's so true, Doris. Thanks. And to turn a team around like the Raptors defensively, you know, Steve, it's going to take some time.
Well, it always takes time when you take over a new team like Dwayne Casey did a year ago, and you don't have defensive-minded players. You can scheme all you want, but if you don't have the talent, it's not going to work. So I would look for Toronto to continue to try to improve their roster from a defensive standpoint.
That's good.
Soft defense right there. Way too soft.
Calderon with it. Williams picks him up. Outside, Fields. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Well, another uncontested 3 there. They've got to make some kind of an adjustment. I mean, they're giving up way too many open 3s.
Well, the last 5 hoops, 3 have come off wide open three-pointers, Clark. So it's one thing to give up one, but you start giving three-pointers up in bunches, you're in big trouble.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Al Horford is checked in for Pachulia. Ivan Johnson comes in for Josh Smith. Anthony Morrow's checked in for Kyle Korver. Devin Harris subbed in for Jeff Teague. And then for Toronto, Argnani is checked in for Johnson. DeRozan comes in for Ed Davis. And it's Lowry in for Jose Calderon.
Devin Harris joined another team this last offseason as he came to the Hawks in exchange for Marvin Williams. you'd have to think he'll appreciate a fresh start here with Atlanta.
Out of bounds, Atlanta takes possession.
Well, that's inexcusable to throw a pass that far off the mark.
The Raptors making a switch here. Braves checked in. Williams against DeRozan. Harris dishes to Horford. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Now just a 2-point Raptor lead.
Well, this move for Atlanta, getting Harris, was really more about dumping the salary of Marvin Williams than anything. But I think Atlanta does like having Harris to run this point guard spot. You know, he's fast, he can score, but he's only under contract for 1 year, so that frees up their cap space next summer. So all in all, a good deal for the Hawks.
There's Williams. The Raptors getting the bucket. Offensive rebound. And that one's good. 8 points for Horford.
Well, you love his motor and the effort level that's there on the offensive boards. That's always there. And those are the kind of things that create extra possessions for a team. And ultimately, you know, the NBA games are generally close. So 2-3 extra possessions in a game could turn out to be the difference between winning and losing.
And guys, he plays a tough brand of basketball. His biggest tool and asset is his strength, and he uses it every time down the court.
Well, one of the things Atlanta really wanted to add last season under Larry Drew was a more up-tempo look. And you can see why when you look at their roster. They've got some very athletic players, especially in their starting lineup.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Pachulia, he's checked in for Ivan Johnson. Smith comes in for Anthony Morrow. And it's Teague in for Lou Williams. Here's Teague. The Raptors knocking down the tray. Harris kicks to Teague. And good coming on the assist from Devin Harris. Harris. Has got 3 assists tonight. So many guys, as you said, Steve, with a blend of size and speed, incredible athleticism. It just made sense, I think, for them and, you know, Coach Larry Drew, Clark, to get him up and down the floor, run him baseline to baseline, get a speed game going.
Well, Kevin, it's easy when you have players like they do to play an up-tempo game. I mean, that's a good fit for that team, a good style for that team. I look at Atlanta, and every player can not only get up and down, but can finish at the rim through contact. They're an excellent team in transition, and that's playing to their strengths when they can play in the open court.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game. And he makes the first. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Al Horford. The Raptors also with a sub. Davis is checked in. 26 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Calderon. Fields. An emphatic alley-oop jam.
Flawless alley-oop that time. That's some real stylish basketball there.
Almost looks like a play they've been rehearsing for a while.
Well, that's the beauty of the alley-oop. It appears that way, but really it's just timing and sort of an innate sense of awareness between two teammates.
Pachulia. It's hauled in by Jose Calderon. Here's DeRozan. No good on the buzzer beater. And we're through 2 here and a good one.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
Monday has almost come to an end. Let's celebrate with a little halftime show. The Raptors taking care of business. One look at their field goal percentage says it all. They're scoring at will. An impressive first half for Landry Fields. He's got 10 points and some nice plays offensively, getting the assists going.
Black album coming soon.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters. Nice game. Great performance by Landry Fields.
Yeah, he's done a great job of finding the soft spots in that defense. A very efficient game for him so far.
Yeah, and I like what he's done, Steve. I mean, he's made a couple of jumpers here or there, but what he's really done impressively is allow the game to come to him.
And on the floor for Dwayne Casey starting the second half. Their backcourt is Lowry and DeRozan. Landry Fields out there with Bargnani. And it's Gray in at the 5 spot. And a chance here to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Doris Burke. Hi, Doris.
Well, the Raptors drafted Jonas Valanciunas 5th back in 2011, but they had to be a little patient because he stayed another year in Lithuania. But now he's here, and Coach Dwayne Casey is excited. He said JV has a quick motor, he's athletic for his size. I'm really impressed with his skill level, what he brings to the table as far as hard play, running the floor, blocking shots, and just his energy level overall. A great selection, Kevin.
He's got the length factor to be sure. Thanks, Doris.
The Raptors happy to have a legit big man in the middle.
Atlanta calls timeout.
Let's keep it going. Bring it on. A-Town Raptors. CEO of the ROC. Fresh out the frying pan into the fire. Peter. Music biz #1 supplier.
And the Raptors with some changes. Valanciunas, he's checked in for Gray. And it's Calderon in for DeMar DeRozan. The Hawks trail by 5.
It's been 4 years now and counting for the Raptors since they made the playoffs. Overall, the franchise found their way into the playoffs early, but it's been hard getting back there recently.
That's good. Calderon's got his first bucket of the night.
Good start for this offense. They're shooting 3 of 4 now from the field, so offense in a good groove. Well, Kyle Korver is going to do one thing better than just about anybody in the league, and that's shoot the three-point ball. And he's got unlimited range, beautiful stroke, and you have to respect his range as a defense.
He just makes it look so easy to use. He'll be almost statuesque, but each and every time he fires from deep, he hits it. And with so many stars coming and going, Bosh and Tracy McGrady, it seems each time, Steve, that Toronto gets a team that can make the playoffs, they lose their centerpiece.
Yeah, that's going to be important in the future. Can they hang on to their players? It's one of the reasons I think they've gone with a more European feel to their club. It's an international city, Toronto is. And I think that the franchise feels like if they draft European players, they're more likely to be able to hang on to them than they would be the American stars.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto.
Well, one of the reasons Atlanta has been a pretty solid team the last few years in the Eastern Conference is that they've got some big bodies. This is a physical team on the front line. And even with the injury to Al Horford last season, the Hawks were able to hold their own down low.
Here's what Atlanta's going with right now. Pachulia, he's checked in for Horford. And Lewis Williams subbed in for Anthony Morrow. Raptors also changing it up. Klaises checked in for Bargnani. And it's DeRozan in for Landry Fields. Good. Now it's a 7-point Hawks lead. Horford eventually came back to the Hawks in the playoffs, taking on the Boston Celtics. But, Steve, as you said, they have size all over the floor. And Clark, they certainly used it well.
And size doesn't take games off nor go away. I mean, a big team is a big team, and the Hawks are one of those teams, and it makes playing in the Eastern Conference a lot easier when you're as big as they are. Boy, they just cannot figure out a way to stop this guy this quarter, Kevin.
For 3, Calderon gets it to go. Calderon's got 5 points in the quarter.
A lot of the points they've given up have come on open threes like that one. And that has to be disconcerting and frustrating to their coach.
Well, they should know better. I mean, they read the scouting report. You can't leave these guys wide open on the perimeter.
A little added hang time right there.
Yeah, letting himself down easy, it looks like.
Soft landing.
Yeah, a little better for the knees, so I don't blame him.
The Sprite replay really gave you a good look at the action.
That's grace over power, guys. With that finger roll, gets him 2 points. Impressive stuff.
He kicks it to Williams. Over Valanciunas. Second chance shot. Pachulia. Good. Pachulia's got his second basket of the night.
Another board, just continuing to add to that big rebound margin.
And it's a bit ironic, guys. I mean, you would think the score wouldn't be so close the way they're dominating the glass. But this one is still in the balance.
So for the Hawks, Al Horford. He's checked in for Korver. Morrow comes in for Lou Williams. And Evan Harris is subbed in for Jeff Teague. And then for Toronto, Bargnani is checked in for Valanciunas. Davis comes in for Linus Klaize. And Landry Fields subbed in for Jose Calderon. The Raptors making a switch here. Johnson's checked in.
The defense caught dozing off that time.
Those open dunks, pretty high percentage.
Yeah, you're not going to miss many of those. I mean, this is really a poor defensive effort.
Now here is Lowry. He has 7. Fields' shot is good.
He's going to take that shot every time if he has that much room to get it off.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That's his first foul. And the Hawks making a change here. Johnson's checked in. 32 seconds left to play in the third. Morrow kicks to Johnson. Johnson on him. Fades back. Johnson can't hit.
He operates pretty well in traffic, guys, but that was a tough play to finish off.
No good from Bargnani. Now Harris. He has 7. Pass to Smith. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Smith's got 18 points. Lowry with the ball. Jacks up a 3. Shot is off. And that's it for the third quarter. Both teams scoring well.
Your Hawks. The Raptors.
The Hawks leading by 5. Williams and Morrow on the perimeter. Smith out there with Ivan Johnson. And it's Teague in at the point guard. So that's the Hawks 5. And here we go with DeRozan running it up the middle.
That's not his shot at all. Way too far beyond his range.
Passes it to Morrow. Shoots over DeRozan. Morrow, no good. Raptors trail by 5. The alley-oop pass. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. Here's Smith. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
I'm not sure which was better, the fast break or the steal that got it started.
I think it was the defense, Steve, quite honestly. I mean, the whole play isn't even possible if he doesn't make the steal.
Here is Kleza. His 3-pointer's off the mark. Here's Morrow. He dishes it to Jackson. Down the dunk.
Man, they are both lighting it up here.
Exciting basketball, Steve. I mean, it's been back and forth, each side dropping in points every chance they get.
Find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Yes, Kevin, Dwayne Casey was just going over the plan with his team. He was not happy with their play to this point, telling them we're getting out hustled, plain and simple. There's still time, but we've got to dial up our effort. Kevin, we'll see if they have enough to get it done.
Al Horford, he's checked in for the Hawks. Korver comes in for Anthony Morrow. So it's the Hawks now. The Raptors knocking down the tray. And the dunk by Horford.
There's one thing about the alley-oop. You can't fire the pass in there. You got to have some air under that pass. It needs a little hang time.
That's exactly right. A lot of finesse. Just like that one was. Perfectly thrown.
And that's what makes the play so much fun to watch. There's finesse on the front end, but then power on the end.
Teague with the ball. Lowry picks him up. Teague, the pass to Williams. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 9th assist in the game now. The drive by Lowry. Bargnani, easy shot. The shot's good on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 6th assist on the night.
You know what makes it difficult to guard Bargnani is that he's 7 feet tall, but he's got shooting range out to about 25 feet. So the big man on the defense has to stay out with him on the perimeter, and that really opens up the floor for anything you want to do offensively.
It sure does open up the floor, Steve, and he can get into a rhythm, too. If he gets a few good looks at the hoop and is feeling it, he'll get hot real quickly with his size and shooting touch there. It isn't much you can do to stop him. And the Hawks making a change here. Morrow's checked in.
You know, they built their lead here by doing all the little things well.
And one of those things has been rebounding, Clark, because they have really come out and taken control of the boards.
There's no way to stop that. I mean, there's nothing you can do when he's coming at him like that.
Well, that's right, Clark. Steve, he is a dangerous, dangerous player.
Yeah, especially when he gets to that launching pad right there in the lane. I mean, pretty one-handed finish. That was nice.
Here's Bargnani. Rebound by Williams.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss.
You know what? Oh, how about that basketball, man? Wow. That's taking it strong right there.
Yeah, finishing in style.
You can feel a sense of anticipation when he heads for the hoop because that's what he can do.
And that replay sponsored by Sprite, giving us a great look at that one. And there's the call on Kyle Lowry.
Kyle Lowry.
That's foul number 2 for him.
Personal foul. First team foul.
.151 left in the fourth quarter. Here's Williams, and that one's good. And the Hawks lead by 8.
Man, offensive execution has been the story here. Just playing beautiful basketball.
And guys, you can see it in their advantage in field goal percentage. I mean, you get high-quality shots, you're usually going to shoot well. They're playing outstanding basketball.
T kicks to Horford. And he throws it down with one hand.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
There's the dish to Bargnani. Back to Lowry. Gets it to go. Lowry's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Seems to be recovering after that rough first half. Really starting to play well here.
Williams kicks to T. He passes to Horford. Hawks passing it around. Here's Williams. And that one's good.
Well, that makes 5 of their last 6 makes coming from inside.
Yeah, really focused on getting the ball into the paint because they're taking advantage of very porous defense down there.
Landry Fields on the wing. And it's off from three-point range. The Hawks have gone on a tear here in the fourth. They're 8 of 9 on field goal attempts in the quarter. And stolen by Kyle Lowry. Up top to Rosen. Back to Lowry. From out on the wing, he knocks it down. There's 42 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. And here is Teague.
Defensive foul. At the line for the Hawks. Jeff Teague. 2 shots.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 9. Ivan Johnson, he's checked in for the Hawks. Raptors also changing it up. Aaron Gray, he's checked in for Bargnani. Johnson comes in for Ross. And it's Calderon in for DeMar DeRozan.
And that should be enough to get the job done, even though he didn't get all of them.
Good work turning that into an easy 2-point. He can attack the rim as well as anybody.
Clark, and they can just let the clock run out here.
No argument with that W.
Calderon for 3, and Horford pulls it down. Williams with the ball, feeds to T. And so the Hawks take the win. Both teams played well.